This is section 8.3. Now we are going to 8.1 dealt with y equals ax squared. So we just talked about the shape of the parabola, whether it was shrunk or stretched. 8.2 introduced the y-intercept and the c value, and that moved it vertically. It had a vertical transformation, so it just moved it up and down. And 8.3 is going to now move it left, right, and up, down. So we're going to work with the axis of symmetry and the vertex. So the vertex is going to be a point. So now we're dealing with ax squared plus bx plus c. And the vertex, so the axis of symmetry, we can actually find the y value of the axis of symmetry. That is going to be this of axis of, of symmetry is going to be this equation, x equals the opposite of b over 2a, using this b value and this a value. And that's going to find our x line looking like this. So this is our axis of symmetry. So I don't have the equation for this, but we could derive this x equals -3. So it says find the axis of symmetry. The axis of symmetry is x equals -3. And then the vertex is going to be the maximum point. The max point is going to be -3, 4. So that's my vertex. And then my y-intercepts, my y-intercept is here. That's 0, -2. And I find it interesting that they don't want the x-intercepts also. The x-intercepts are values that are relatively important. But we notice the symmetry of this. This is 1, 2, 3 away from the axis of symmetry. 1, 2, 3 is its mirror point. So we're going to utilize that when we have to graph later. But vertex is -3, 4. Axis of symmetry is x equals -3. The y-intercept is 0, -2. So vertex, -3, axis of symmetry, and my y-intercept. I like that they're giving coordinates. All right. Axis of symmetry is going to be x equals -1. My vertex is going to be -1, 2. Notice my vertex, my x value for my vertex is the same as my axis of symmetry. And then my y-intercept is going to be 0, 5. So that's going to be my c value when we write it as an equation. I think those are the things. -1, 2. Yep, good. So now find the axis of symmetry, find the vertex. So the axis of symmetry, looking at here, my a value, well, let's not do it in that color. My a value equals 4, my b value equals 12, and my c value equals 0. Remember, my c value is going to be my y-intercept. So I already know I have a point there. I'm going to find my axis of symmetry, and my axis of symmetry is going to be the opposite of b over 2a. So the opposite of 12 over 2 times 4, which is -12 over 8, which simplifies to -3 halves, or -1.5. So my axis of symmetry is going to be that line right there. So because my y-intercept is 1.5 away, I know that its mirror point is also going to be 1.5 away. Now if I got to find my vertex is going to be, I'm going to take this value and I'm going to plug it in. So f of -3 halves equals 4 times -3 halves squared plus 12 times negative 3 halves. Wow, they don't start you off with a nice easy one. They start you off with a pretty tough one. So f of negative 3 halves equals 4 times negative 9 over 4 plus, well, actually not plus, that's going to be minus that's 6, so 18. And these cancel, so we have f of negative 3 halves equals negative 9. Nope, that's squared, sorry, that's plus 9 minus 18. So f of negative 3 halves equals negative 9. So down here, that's my vertex. And I could plug one more point in if I wanted to find another, if I'm graphing it. Am I graphing? Find, oh, I'm not graphing. It just says find the axis of symmetry and the vertex. It's okay, but we see the shape of it now. And should it be narrow? Yeah, it's narrow. My A value is 4. So that kind of makes sense that it was going to be so stretched. So axis of symmetry, well, I guess we can do this. So we can, let's do this. X equals negative 3 halves. So that's my axis of symmetry. And then my vertex is going to be negative 3 halves, comma, negative 9. And we can make that a little bit more professional. Negative 3 halves, negative 3 halves, negative 9. Love it. Good. Okay, my A value. My A value is negative 5. My B value is negative 20. My C value is 4. So let's do the axis of symmetry. X equals the opposite of B over 2A. Opposite of negative 20 over 2 times negative 5, which is 20 over negative 10, negative 2. So my axis of symmetry is negative 2. Boop, 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 boop. So I know my vertex lies on that point. My vertex, now I'm going to plug in negative 2. So y equals negative 5 times negative 2 squared minus 20 times negative 2 plus 4. Y equals, that's that's negative 20. That's 4 times 5 is negative 20. This is positive 40. That's plus 4. So y equals 24. So my point is negative 224. Not going to be fun to plot. Let me make sure that's negative, so it's upside down. So I know my y-intercept is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to have a mirror point here. And does that make negative 2, 24? Yeah, that probably makes sense. My y value is 5, or my A value is 5. So that's going to look something like that. So we have axis of symmetry negative 2 and vertex negative 224. Yep, good. My A value is negative 8. My B value is 24. My C value is 13. So 13's right there. My axis of symmetry, opposite of B over 2 times negative 8, which this time is negative 24 over negative 16, which equals positive, what's that, 3 halves? 3 halves? 8? Yep. Yeah, positive. So x equals positive 3 halves this time. So there's my y-intercept. I'll go 1.5 over to get that one. Let's now calculate my y equals negative 8 times 3 halves squared plus 24 times 3 halves plus 13. Y equals negative 8 times 9/4. That becomes, what's that, 3? Is that 3 halves? Yeah, 3 halves. So that's 12. 36 plus 13. Y equals negative 18 plus 36 plus 13. So that's 18 and 13, 31. So we have 3 halves, comma, 31. 3 halves. Oh, yeah, negative. Good. So that's way up there. So that makes sense. I was just making sure that it made sense shape-wise. 3 halves, 31. Yep. My A value is 2/3. Ooh, that's going to be fun. B is negative 6. C is 15. So my C value is there. Let's find the axis of symmetry. Opposite of B over 2A equals the opposite of negative 6 over 2 times 2/3. Yuck. Which equals 6 over 4/3, which equals 6 divided by 4/3, which equals 6 times 3/4, which is still going to be ugly, which gives us 9 halves. So my is 9 halves, and that is going to be 4.5. 1, 2, 3, 4.5. 1, 2, 3, 4.5. Now that reflected point is going to be at 4.5, and 4.5 is 9. So that's 15/9. Now let's find the y. Is it y or f of x? F of x. F of x, not f of x, f of 9 halves equals, let's look at that equation, 2/3 times 9 halves squared minus 6 times 9 halves plus 15 plus 15. So f of 9 halves equals 2/3 times 81/4. Yuck. That's minus 27. 2 goes in 6. 3 times 9 is 15. So f of 9 halves equals, that's going to be 9. That's going to be 2. 9 halves? Is that right? No, 3 doesn't go in 81 9 times. Sorry, that is over 2, though. Oh, no. Yeah, 2. Yep. That goes 2, 27. 27 halves minus 27 plus 15. So f of 9 halves equals 27 halves minus 54 halves plus 15, which is f of 9 halves equals negative 27 halves. We'll make this 30 halves. So f of 9 halves equals 3. Really? 3 halves again? Cool. Okay, so that is going to be, plug in my x. That's my y. So 9 halves, 3.5. 9 halves. So it's going to be right here. And that's a u, so that's correct. And there's my shape. Yep, 9 halves, 3 halves. Awesome. A equals 4. B equals 8. C equals 11. Here's my 11. X equals the opposite of B over 2A. Opposite of 8 over 2 times 4, which equals negative 8 over 8, which equals negative 1. That reflected point is right there. My vertex is going to be f of -1 equals 4 times -1 squared plus 8 times -1 plus 11. F of -1 equals 4 minus 8 plus 11. F of -1 equals -4 plus 11, which is 7. Yeah, 7. So my point is -1, 7. So -1, 7 right there. And I was expecting it to be a U and narrow. So that looks pretty good. Oh, did it change questions? Graph the function, find the domain and range. Oh, sorry. So, well, that's good. We know the domain is all real numbers, and the range is y is greater than or equal to my vertex, my y value for vertex, which is 7. Greater than or equal to 7. So range is y is greater than or equal to 7. Oh, it does want you to graph it. So we graphed it. That looks pretty good. Notice the increments are by 4. Yep, 16, 20, 24. So domain, all real numbers, range, and we graphed it. Perfect. So notice how we can graph this pretty nicely. Not a parenthesis, a equals. Did I do that on the last one? Yep, I did. A equals -6, B equals -12, C equals -7. So -7 is going to be here. My axis of symmetry, opposite of B over 2A, opposite of -12 over 2 times -6, which gives me 12 over -6. No, 12 over 12. 12 over -12, which equals -1. Which is going to be super skinny again. So there's that reflected point over the axis of symmetry. Let's find the vertex, find the vertex. So y equals -6 times -1 squared minus 12 times -1 minus 7. -6, because -1 squared is 1. That's positive 12 minus 7. Y equals, that's -1. So -1, -1. Yep, -1, -1. So there, this is upside down. So now when I do my domain and range, my domain is still all real numbers. And my range, however, my range is y is less than or equal to -1, because we want values that are less than. So y is less than or equal to. Did I do equal to? Hopefully I did equal to. Yep. My domain, and that's what my graph looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. It would be crossing the y-axis there. So A equals 1/2, B equals -8, C equals 3. There's my 1, 2, 3. X equals the opposite of B over 2A, opposite of -8 over 2 times 1/2, which equals 8. 8 over 1, and we get 8. So axis of symmetry is here. Ooh, that's kind of crazy. That point's going to be way out there. Okay, but my vertex is going to be y equals 1/2 8 squared, yuck, minus 8 times 8 plus 3, which is 1/2 of 64 minus 64 plus 3. That's going to be y equals 32 minus 64 plus 3, negative 32 plus 3, y equals negative 29, so 8, negative 29, way down here. Okay, so I don't know if I drew the graphs. Did I draw? Yeah, I drew them. So if I needed another point somewhere here, I'd do it, but it's going to be something like that. My domain is still all real numbers. My range is going to be y is greater than or equal to negative 29. That's my lowest point. Y is greater than or equal to negative 29. Yep, good. And yep, didn't go over the y-axis until it was over. Number 10, a equals negative 2/3, b equals 4, c equals 2. Make that x equals the opposite of b over 2a. Opposite of 4 over 2 times negative 2/3. Negative 4 over 4/3, negative 4/3. Negative 4 divided by negative 4/3, negative 4 times negative 3/4, which gives us a positive 3. That's an ugly 3. Let's redo that one. So my axis of symmetry is 3, 1, 2, 3. We can reflect that. That's 3, 1, 2, 3. That's good. Let's do 3 for that formula. F of 3, hopefully, equals negative 2/3 times 3 squared plus 4 times 3 plus 2. F of 3 equals negative 2/3 times 9 plus 12 plus 2. F of 3 equals negative 6 plus 12 plus 2. F of 3 equals, that's 8. So we have 3, 8 as my vertex. 3, 8 is going to be that point upside down. Yep, that's what we were expecting to get. My domain equals all real numbers. My range, y is less than or equal to, what was that, 8? 8. Y is less than or equal to 8. Yep, good. Describe and correct the error. Find the vertex of the graph. Okay, so opposite of b, that's good. All over 2a, that's good, that's fine. So the vertex, well, we have to just plug in negative 3 squared plus 6 times negative 3 plus 2, which gives us 9 minus 18 plus 2, which is negative 9 plus 2 is negative 7. So, nope. The point should be negative 3, negative 7. Yep, negative 3, negative 7. Tell whether the function has a max or a min. So we're always going to look here. We're going to look at the a value. If it's negative, that means it's upside down. So this is going to have a max value, maximum value. And that maximum value will be the vertex. So let's find out. It's the opposite of b all over 2 times a, which is negative 24 over negative 12, which is 2. So now I'm going to plug in f of 2 equals negative 6 times 2 squared plus 24 times 2 minus 5. F of 2 equals negative 24 plus 48 minus 5. F of 2 is going to be 24 minus 5, which is 19. So the point is 2, 19. 19, maximum of 19. Yeah, so that's the vertex. So the maximum value is going to equal 19. And when we talk about the maximum value, I don't know if we always talk about the y value. That's interesting. I would probably give the coordinate, but it's my y value, so it's up and down. So 19, I get it. Maximum of 19. To whether, well, this is going to be a minimum value. That's a minimum value because it's a U shape. It's going to, A is positive, so it'll have a U. So my X value is going to be, X is going to be the opposite of B. 2 times 1/3. Ooh, yuck. Okay, just a second. -8 divided by 2/3. -8 times 3/2. So -12. It's 4 times 3. So -12 is my X value of my max or my minimum value. So we plug it in. Y equals 1/3 -12 squared plus 8 times -12 minus 1. 1/3 times 144. Yuck. Minus in is 16. 96 minus 1. Y equals 3 goes into that 4 times 4, 48 minus 96 minus 1. Yep. And that's going to be -48, -49. So it has a minimum value of -49. That point would be -12, -49. -49. Yay. Parabola contains the points shown, so let's graph them. -1, 5, 1, 9, and 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 3, 5. Okay, good. So those are, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Yeah, so this is actually the vertex. So this is going to be the vertex. Vertex is going to be that point 1, 9. Axis of symmetry. Symmetry is going to be x equals 1. It's going to have a all real numbers characteristics. So range, domain is going to be all real numbers. The range is going to be y is less than or equal to 9. It's going to have, can I find the x and y intercept? I probably could, but it's going to be somewhere there. X intercepts are going to be there. I think that's pretty much all that I can tell. The vertex is 1, 9. The axis symmetry. The domain is all real range. The function is increasing. X is, I don't know about that. Yeah. I can do the decreasing. The y-intercept is 8. I probably wouldn't have known that. I definitely know the tendencies. So I'm not sure how I would have figured out the intercepts. That would have been a little bit harder. I would have to write the equation is what I would do. Yep. Okay. And last one, 2, 7 and 4, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. So I don't know anything about that. This could go this way. This could go this way. This could be the vertex. This could be the vertex. So there's so many things that can go on. Nothing. I don't know anything. Nothing can be, I don't know anything about the characteristics. Not possible. 2 points is not enough. No, it is not. Okay. Cool.